do, I'll start recording. Okay, thank you and welcome to the South Gawler Oval for the match between Angaston and South Gawler. The reserves have just finished and a clear victory to South Gawler, 7-12 to Angaston, 5-1. In the commentary position today, alongside myself, Keith Chemis, we've got Jess Smith. Morning, Jess. Well, afternoon.
Morning, Keith. How you doing?
Might be morning for you, seeing you played footy last night.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit sore. Didn't get any pre-season under my belt either, so bit sore and sorry today, but I made it down here anyway.
What about post-game on a Friday night? You looked after your body, did you?
Yeah, absolutely looked after my body.
You're not lying to me.
No. Yeah, the ice bath and everything.
You're kidding me.
No, well, yeah, definitely kidding you.
You wouldn't have needed an ice bath at Mount Barker last night, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, no. There was plenty of ice residue already on the ground as we were going, so I reckon that's probably why I'm feeling so good today.
Yep, righto. Well, let's hopefully have a good call. We get a good game. This is Souths and Angaston. Both teams are on the ground as the reserves are making their way off. But for South today, they're second with 4 wins. They're the defending premier in the Barossa Light and Gawler Football Association. With 4 wins, and they've had their bye and one more game to go in this half round of the season. Angaston are 7th with 2 wins. Injuries and COVID has stretched all clubs and sides this year, Jess, and probably including yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially listening to a lot of different leagues around the state, where you find all the competition gets a lot closer and unpredictable with the COVID and injuries that are coming through. It's a lot more. Teams are moving players around a lot more frequently, round to round, so it's hard to gauge week in, week out who's gonna be on the park.
Looking at the Barossa today, the match publication here in the BLG, there's lots of ins and outs in every side, and for South today, out are Jacob Schmidtke, Hannah Schmidt and Henry Bennison. In Tom Clements, Patrick White and Braden Lim. Patty's been doing a bit of time down at Central Districts. He's a gun footballer, one of the best in the competition, if not the best. Very unlucky, I thought, not to win the medal last year. Also in is Braden Lehman, so some good ins there for South. Angaston, bit of a longer list. Nick Fallon, Will Fallon, Riley Argent, Jay Shannon and Matt Blinkine out from their last hit out. In Jaden Antoni, Archie Haddon, Zach Heinz Younger, Sam Walker, and I suppose the main talking point there is that Jay Shannon is the coach of Angaston. So not only do they've lost his services as a player today, they've lost his services as a coach.
Is that a COVID out then, if he's not able to coach on the sideline?
He's been ill. He's had his bout of COVID, but he's just been ill during the week, and it's a bit of turmoil in his family. They've just welcomed a new arrival during the week, so it's all go down there, but not go, so to speak. Umpires today, we've got Caelan Sullivan and Mark Herman, the experienced Mark Herman. And in games earlier today, Souths won the 13s and 15s, and Angaston won the 17s.
Just quickly as well, Jamo, you've got some injury clouds around Stephen Summerton today. You're the president of the Angaston Football Club as well. Some insight on that. Is he looking all right, pulling up today?
Summo's carrying an injury, but he's elected to play. He still demands a person to go to him. The injury is getting better, but his main impact is if we can get him into the centre clearances or at the clearances. He's worth another 30 possessions a game if we get him in that position.
And you'd see, and as well as on the other side of it, you mentioned before Paddy White. Would you reckon he'll run through the midfield today? Paddy
will, if things are normal, Paddy starts on the half-back flank. He's not much of a defender per se, but it's his run through the middle from the half-back, setting up the opportunities across half-forward, and goes down to kick the odd goal. And he's got a very good midfield and players in the South lineup. Jackson Dare, Josh Whitwer, he might start in the back pocket, similar sort of role, but he could play anywhere. Matt Neumann, Daniel Golding, Dean Cutting, the veteran medalist. These blokes are a very good side, South obviously, because they're the defending premier. As we watch the toss, well, maybe we don't watch the toss. No coin. Wet or dry? Throw a boot. No, boundary umpire's got a coin. Here we go. Angaston won the toss and elected the kick with the wind, which is favouring the southern end of the ground. Mainly blowing across. It's coming from the bottom right, the northern right-hand pocket, but definitely favours that end of the ground, and harder to kick goals from this side of the ground as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the breeze definitely drifting down into that club room end there. I wonder if you see the ball being used down this wing, getting some quick slingshots from the back end into that forward 50 using that wind.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how both sides play it. I presume though Souths will go down the guts. I mean, they've are the stronger of the two sides with a better form. No need for them to play wide footy or possession footy, but let's see how they go. And last year they were a side that just moved the ball very quickly and very long.
The one other matchup that I want to draw attention to quickly is that we got a quite a large side in South Gawler. In looking at Chris James, especially as the number one ruckman there, who do Angaston send to? Who they got lined up against him in the ruck, and what kind of hit out's that going to be like?
New player to the club in Alex Roberts, number 6 out there. He's 6 foot something, or closer to 7 foot, I think. Hasn't played for a few years. Has just come back into the game. Adequate performance last week, but he's finding some match fitness, and hopefully he finds it quicker than later. But yeah, he's still got a way to go probably from that game time perspective. Also important for Angaston will be Jack Miles coming out of half-back, across half-back and launching him into attack, and also Ben Antoni, who performs a similar role.
You feel like with the breeze today, the first quarter is going to be extremely important for Angaston to get a few goals at the start with that breeze, get some confidence up. That'll bode well for them going throughout the game today.
Yeah, well, you'd probably expect that around about 4 o'clock the breeze may drop, as it does tend to do. But yeah, with the breeze, you'll have to make the best use of it. And I would think anything under 5 goals, you'd probably be disappointed with the quarter.
My paperwork certainly isn't making the best use of the breeze.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a hard time over here.
You'll have to nail it down, mate.
Yeah.
But there's the siren, and as the reserves come off and the players find their positions, it will be James in the ruck for Souths, and Brody Hudson is taking the first ruck, and Alex Edwards will be against him. This is probably his first real test in A grade against quality ruckman, with 2 or 3 ruckmen in one side. There's the siren. Neither ruckman got hand of the ball. Ball's at the base of the pack. Should be a ball up here as South Gawler players flattened by Dylan Tuckwell from Angaston, and umpire Mark Herman moves into bounce again, or throw the ball up in the same spot. Tapped by Hudson, doesn't find his own player, but it's kicked out the centre by South. Holds up in the breeze, but coming out and taking the ball easily is Dean Cutting from South Gawler. Right half forward, goes for the goal square, good percentage kick. No one can get hands to it. Sweeping around at the back was Jackson Murphy. His kick's a good kick and finds Ben Antoni, left half back for the Panthers.
Antoni's looking up the line. He's looking to go straight up the line here. That's a long driving kick to the contest. You've got both ruckmen up there. Number 5 for South Gawler, which is Jackson Dare, takes the mark. He's looking to bring the ball back inside the forward 50 for South Gawler.
Going this end, that's probably the better side to be, because the wind's blowing across the ball. Handball out, and South's first shot on goal. Looks like it doesn't dribble through, intercepted, and
quite a clever click there. That'll be a goal.
Yep. Clever play there by, we'll pick him up in a minute, number 11.
Matt Neumann,
who kept the ball in play, could have let it go through for behind, swung round onto his right boot and kicked South's first goal against the breeze, and not much time gone there Jess?
Yeah, not exactly the start Angaston were looking for. Straight out the middle there by South Gawler, but we do know that they've got quite a dominant midfield, so interesting to see how that unfolds from here on in.
Yeah, try to pick up who's in that midfield for them. It's Hudson in the ruck again against Edwards. Hudson holds Edwards out, picks the ball up himself, gets a sweeping handball.
Bailey Filkey's on it.
Bailey Filkey, sorry. He's tackled. He throws a handball. No, he's pinged for holding the ball. Pretty quick there by umpire Herman.
Carnelli brings it out to the clubroom side here.
Jackson Murphy.
Yeah, Jackson Murphy piercing middle. Well, good tackle there by number 6, which is Bailey Filkey. You feel like Angaston with the breeze there just need to get some more penetrating movement when they're coming down, get the ball long, get some forward 50 entries.
Now Edwards electing to go check side here. Hudson holds him out. Edwards held him, probably a free each, but play on by the umpire. Tuckwell a kick out of the pack in the direction of Angus Adams. He lumbers after the ball. For balls down on the deck. South should clear from here. Swooping in and pushed out was Jackson Murphy. And we've got Ryan Canelli trying to ride the South player into the ground. Rhodey Hudson's there as well, pushing the ball out. Couldn't reach in for it. Player stood off it for a while, trying to get a clear kick. Then Ryan Canelli kicks it forward, but it's a saving mark in defence by, I think that's Whitwer.
No, we got Barsh taking it through the middle. He gives it off, and there he'll get it back here. And this is a good play by South Gawler coming forward. Oh, it's a big hit in the middle of the ground. Need to get the tackle in there, though, you would think. But South Gawler still going forward now. Through Steve Burton, out to the top side. Pick up, and South Gawler now coming in. So number 7 in Nathan Barge, who will look to enter the forward 50 here. Let's see if South Gawler can find another target. It's a low piercing kick. Oh, drop mark there, it seemed like, by the South Gawler player. And Angaston will look to rebound, although it's going to come right back in again. Quite a few forward 50 entries to start the quarter here, Jamo.
Yeah, Steve, that's 3, I think, is it already?
Yeah, I've got 3 on my paper.
Kick towards and that's a goal. Well, it looked like the Angaston player could have touched that. Maybe the angle's not right from here, but there's South's second goal. There's 2 goals straight to Angaston yet to score. You got the replay there, Jess. Was he close enough to get a hand to it, you think?
It looked like the ball bounced away from him. It was almost a very 2010 Stephen Milne-esque.
Righto, bit of a right leg break.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Floundering. Umpire Herman to restart. Still Hudson. Still Edwards. Josh Whitwer in the centre square there for South. Hudson with the tap that time. As far as Whitwer, he gets a handball forward. Not very far forward, still inside the centre square, and the stacks on the middle and a ball up the south goal side of the cricket pitch.
We've certainly got a tall ruckman here in Alex Roberts. He's quite a towering over all the midfielders in the middle there, is he not?
Well, he's 6'9". He got the tap then over the top of Brody.
Only as far as
the ground.
Finn Pistasi though. And South Gawler get another forward entry and another mark as well.
To Cutting, I think.
On that far side.
He goes inboard. Edwards in the way, but over the top of the tall man.
It's a clever tap towards the
goals, but it should be cleared up here by Callan Loki. His kick to Ryan Canelli marked in between 2 South players. He's made to go back. He can't play on though. Would like to move the ball. Goes across the field, across half back. Very dangerous. Ben Antoni onto Jack Miles. Jack Miles, a long wobbly kick down to half forward. Bounces too hard for anyone to read. Pushes towards the goal line by Angaston. Picked up now. Tackled high perhaps. No, holding the ball. And a free kick goes the way of South Gawler. Cross half back, they played on. And it's Darcy Judd Smith under pressure. He's caught holding the ball. And it's Angaston now, well really, should have a kick for goal from there.
Who's that lining up over there, Jamo? Number 26, I believe.
That could be Sam Walker. I can't see his number. Moves in now. He's on the 50. Ball not quite the carry. Touched on the line, but kept out of the goal line.
Minor score.
A minor score. There was a rush behind there, and Angaston are on the board.
So we got.
So that was 26. There was Sam Walker.
That was Sam Walker, is it?
Well, I'm listed as 43. There you go. That's part of the pleasure of being a football commentator, mate.
Certainly adapting on the fly.
South moved the ball forward. There's Paddy White pushing it now. He soccers off the ground. A great soccer. Low into the arms of the teammate. Cross half forward. And it's marked by Daniel Golding. Golding immediately into the pocket. And that's the dead pocket, we're led to believe. Pretty hard to score from there. It'll take a pretty good kick for South to add their third.
You'd look for the big tools and then
let the
tip of the
tools
goal square
forward.
there. It's probably might fall 20 out if he puts it the right spot.
Moves in now, the South Gawler player. Kicks to the square. Oh, look, that's a pretty good kick.
He's proved you wrong, hasn't he, Jammer? That's a beautiful
kick. He has
kick.
proved me wrong, and it's a great kick, and he kicked a drop punt. Notice that.
He did. A little bit of left to right action,
Yeah.
you might say.
Nothing round the corner. Not trying to bend it. And that was with the wind blowing across the flight of the ball. So a pretty good kick there by
Limpasani.
Newer player. I'm not sure that's the name I know. Maybe came up through there.
It's a gun midfielder, according to the Mike Tiku, who normally sits in my position today.
Okay.
He's very impactful player for South Gawler.
Trust honest Mike. Umpire Herman restarts. Edwards with the tap as Brody Hudson got too far under it, but South clear it from the centre. Rebounded by the Panthers. South once again in the van. Handball sees the players clear on the far boundary. Good clean possession by the South players there. Clinical almost.
South certainly moving the ball well to start off this game, utilising. They had a lot of free players and a lot of space on that top wing of the ball.
Yeah,
when they can get it out there.
Defending the 50-metre space, I think, but that's a bad kick, just as we've praised them. And that's taken by Jaden Antonio, just chips casually into centre half back to Dylan Tuckwell. He kicks across to find Jackson Murphy. Still inside, he'll still kick inside the defensive circle though. Straight up the ground.
Big
I don't know if
contest.
there's any height. There's Paddy White. He goes down over the top. Perhaps could have got a free kick, not received. Then perhaps could have been done for holding the ball, but a late call by the umpire sends that up. Well, I'm not sure about that. That was a bit late, mate.
Yeah, Burgermeister's got the ball on the wing here, and he'll send Angaston forward. It's a big contest at the top of the forward 50. A lot of numbers around the ball right now, and looks like we'll get a ball up.
Yeah, ball up at the true centre half forward position. I think Bergie could have made a lot more ground with that kick.
He had the win right behind him there, you'd think, wouldn't you? Contesting them, and we'll get another ball up here. So
and James in the ruck now for.
It's 3 goals straight, 18 South Gawler to 1 point Angaston on our Barossa scoreboard. We're thinking that Angaston surely need to get some major scores on the board soon with the breeze here, Jamo.
Yeah, Brock Judd-Smith tried to spin out of the tackles but was caught.
Jake Hood has got the ball.
Jake
It's
Hood.
a long ball inside the forward 50.
He's done the right thing. He's kicked it long.
Off hands.
Well,
It's a kick over the head, it looks like, down there. And we've got a bit of a blind spot here on the broadcast, don't we, Jamo? But it looked like there was a kick over the head.
I think he was trying to kick over the head, and I think he kicked it out of bounds on the full. There you are. So South to bring it back in from their club room end. They elect to stay out on this western wing. Ball falls to Tuckwell. He's had a few possessions for the Panthers. He kicks towards that pocket. The ball's kept in play.
What's up with Ryan Carnelli down there?
Ryan Carnelli kicks towards the goal, but there's a big pack around the ball. It's hard to believe it'll go anywhere. South's trying to defend it, and ball out of bounds. And will it be a kick with our new kick-in rule we've got here in the BLG? I think you've had that in the Hills for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, that seems to be all around the state now, off the possession. So it looked like that one was off hand, so boundary umpire throws it in. Right.
A lot of defenders back there for South crowding the play, but they're able to run it out. Long kick. Here's Fibiger. Fibiger with the mark for the Panthers. Ooh, going for the 50. Didn't quite get it. Josh Whitwell on the mark. His good kick by Fibiger. Handball over the top finds Kennelly. Kennelly fires it in towards the goal square, but possibly could have kicked it deeper as South will clear out the back line. Can't be marked by Flynn Pisani, the goal kicker.
Certainly noticing when the ball gets down in this deep pocket here, Jamo, it gets stuck there quickly. You'd think as the team with the breeze, Angaston want to try and move it onto that top side if they can.
They need to move it away from those big packs. And Souths are flooding well when we're going back. Making it very hard. Oh, there's a mark.
So it looks
Somerton.
like Somerton's going back.
He plays on and bends it around. Kicks the first goal for the Panthers.
Well, that was the snap technique right there, though, Jamo, and it worked quite well for him that time.
Well, he's too old to kick those sorts of balls, but he's a quick learner, Samo. Obviously, a long-term captain of the Magpies Sample side. Named in their best 150, I think, or best 50. And there's been a real find for the Angaston Footy Club since he's come back. But really, they would love to see him in the middle of the ground at these centre clearances.
Is he sitting off in the forward line there, do you think, due to injury?
Yeah, carrying a leg. It's okay, but not okay, if you know what I mean.
Not a bad target in the forward there, though. Ball thrown up by the umpire. Ruckman go at it again. So looks like Angaston will get the clearance this time. They'll go forward again.
Clearance.
Through down into that pocket again now, and we've got a contest down there. Big Jakey Roberts picking the ball up.
Onto Hood. Hood runs across half back, sweeps a long handball out to Jaden Antoni. He's under a bit of pressure. Should be marked by South Gawler defence there, but he recovers very well. Fires it across half back, risky player, and a very good mark taken by Jackson Murphy for the Panthers on the western wing in front of the coaching boxes.
Jackson Murphy definitely started well for the Panthers, looking very controlled out there.
Nice looking kick that once again should be marked by the South Gawler defence, you thought. And do we have a holding the ball, dropping the ball. Free kick to go the way of Jake Hood.
Got the breeze on this one. You'd imagine he'd be able to get the distance here, Jamo.
He should kick this. He should have no trouble with the distance. Young Jake.
This would be a good steady for Angaston after the first two goals gone to South Gawler. They'll be able to respond with two of their own. In comes Jake Hood. Just hit it well off the boot. That's a great kick.
Good off the boot. And that's Angaston's second goal. They move on to 2 goals, 1, trailing South Gawler 3 goals.
And we've got 14 minutes gone in the first quarter on our Ray White Craigmore time clock. So good bounce back by Angaston, don't you think, Jamo?
Yep, but they still need more. I think you'll find that. Just see as Hudson makes his way forward. Is it Hudson? No, James makes his way forward to full forward. Hudson back in the ruck. Brodie Hudson, that is. Whitwer in the centre square for the Lions. Also Flynn Pisani and Steve Burton. Ratcliffe, Tuckle, Kennelly for the Panthers. Tuckle with a kick out of the centre square. Another clearance to the Panthers.
And they'll go forward again here, looks like the Panthers. They've certainly got a run on right now.
Josh Pearson, though, steadied it for South and kicked it out wide to find Josh Whitwer. Whitwer along the boundary line.
It's a good read there by not Alex Roberts, Bailey Filkey.
Yep.
Drives the ball inside the forward 50.
Grieve with just a random kick out of the centre, but hits Tuckwell on the chest, and his kick finds Sam Walker a long way from half forward. I mean, umpire's got to move him back a good 5 metres here, you'd think. Walker, not sure where to go. Now he goes up the line. South's in front, pushed out of it by Somerton. Goes to the dead pocket, kick towards the goal line. Over the top, punching away was Adams, but I don't think he'll keep it in play. We'll have a throw in. Oh no, he won't. They've kept it alive. As we look through the coaches and the training staff here, we need a periscope.
Yeah, this is all you, Jamo. I've got absolutely no sight of it down there.
I was making it up, actually. The kick finds Bailey Zobel in the back pocket. He goes across goal. Good transfer. South should have the players out wide. They do.
Looks like it's Bailey Filkey out there.
Yeah, Filkey again. Handball over the top. Finds Josh Pearson. Pearson able to run on. Long, low kick into the 50 metre. Would have been hard to mark if anyone had been under it, but it's in space. And South's
Puglisi, I think, had the ball.
Gee, great tackle. I thought the little bloke was going to easily run away from the big bloke there. Callan Loki, I think.
It'd be interesting to see what Angaston do to try and get out of this defensive 50 when it's down here. They've struggled.
Took a risk there, but found
Murphy.
Murphy just to kick over the top will find Jaden Antoni. No one on the mark. He's kicked it, finds Hood.
This is nicely worked by Angaston so far.
They kept the possession. Now Murphy goes longer.
Murphy's seen a lot of it early.
There's Paddy White reading it back in the centre quickly. Finds Darcy Judd Smith. There's 2 Judd Smiths out there. His kicks out wide and finds Josh Whitwer. Whitwer wheels around, kicks inboard. He finds, that's a player we don't have listed. We'll have to find out who he is. 35. And James is marked in the right forward pocket, which we called the dead pocket before, but we saw Pisani kick a nice goal from there. I think James is going to try the banana. Oh no, he's going for the drop punt as well.
I would have thought the banana might be better from that position there, Jamo, but we'll see. He's come around now on the bending it back. It's not a bad kick, no one on the line. It looks like it's never put it too early.
There was no one on the line either, really. That could have quite easily snuck through. Our embarrassment.
So 10 inside 50s to 6 the way of South Gawler that I've got on my count right now in the first quarter against the Breeze. So Angaston
10 to
6.
Yeah, that's good stats for South Gawler. Angaston chipping it forward, and this time Kennelly's at the end. He's on the eastern flank, eastern wing. He's kicked it back to Ben Antoni. He can't go across the ground as he would have wished. He finds Tom Ryan with a short one. Ryan at left half back flank for the Panthers. He also goes short. Jaden Antoni couldn't bring it down though. Angaston were in the van but tackled Stacks on the mill and a ball up on the true eastern wing position, South Gawler Oval.
So the big boys will go at it here, and we've got a contest on that far wing, as you said, Jamo. Looks like South Gawler will get the clearance. They'll go forward again.
Yep. Hudson doing his own roving.
Big contest out here right now. Good shepherd right there by
Cutting,
and he gets the ball back right now. And South Gawler will enter with another 40. That's a good spot. Crummer's at the ground, and looks like we've got a chance on goal for South Gawler, but he's just dragged that across the face. It'll be another minor score.
Yeah, he probably should have done better, and you think the wind would have helped him.
Had quite a bit of time there after reading that off the pack right well, so you'd want him to do better there.
But clever by Cutting. He was tackled well and truly, but kept his composure. And as soon as Simon came into vision, he fired out the handball. Kick across half back, not so good for Angaston. They'll have to work to get it out of there. It's up to half forward. Carnelli nearly drags in a mark against some taller opposition. In fact, he gets the free kick. That's 5 free kicks to 2 going the way of Angaston so far. Summerton across the goal, finds Raisler, and Raisler will have a shot dead in front, and you think he should nail it.
That was a lot better movement. You saw that one prior just before Angaston. They struggled to get the ball out, but straight at the middle there, and instant results for him.
Yeah, cross half back's dangerous footy. The kick has to be very, very good. You cannot you just can't afford to have a poor kick. But Raisler moves in now. It looks like he's drifted it to the right, and that's behind to John Raisler as South will bring the ball back into play.
Coming down to this bottom side here, wide open, uncontested mark right there for Simpson.
Another one of the South talls.
Got the big boy Chris James up the line, and he'll go for that one. A lovely strong grab by him.
Always in the van. Ned Grieve on the mark. He's got the job of standing him today. Looks like James is going to spend a lot of time at full forward.
Ball goes up to the 50-metre line. Another uncontested mark. A little too easy right now.
Yep. Steve Burton. Well, they're getting in front with the ball being kicked in the wind, so...
that's what you've got to do. You get told that from a very young age, don't you?
You do.
And looks like now we've got another shot on goal for South Gawler by the way of Flynn Pisani.
Already got one goal?
He definitely does.
Yep. And he's kicking for South's fourth goal of the quarter. This is the first quarter, Angaston versus South Gawler. The scoreboard is 3-2 to 2-2 as Pisani moves in. Slightly off centre, about 45 out. Starts at right, uses the breeze. Has he got the legs?
I think he has.
He has, and South move on to 4-2 to Angaston, 2-2. Handy advantage kicking into this breeze, and Angaston really need to put the petrol in the motor for the last 5 minutes of this quarter, and they need 2-3 goals, I reckon.
Well, if you didn't know the breeze,
must be in touch or ahead.
You look at 22 minutes gone on our Ray White Craigmore time clock. But without the breeze, knowing about the breeze, you'd think Angaston have had a very competitive quarter, but you'd want a little bit more out of this quarter, I think. Like you said, 1 or 2 more goals would be extremely important in the last 4 or 5 minutes here. Ball up in the midfield. It looks like
Hudson the tap.
It's a clearance for South Gawler. Bringing it down, and now here we go. Bringing it down with South Gawler will counter out of their defensive 50. That's quick pace right there. Out to that far side.
Clearance for tackle, that was.
There you go. Bailey Filkey took the mark out in the half back line there, and they'll look to bring the ball inside. Elects to go out on the outer wing once more, though. South Gawler using that outer wing very effectively in this first quarter. Good crummy movement right there by Burton. And the big boy right there, he gets a shot on goal. Chris James.
Well, he missed a lot, has he?
He has missed a lot.
I'm not sure that signals, was that out of bounds on the full, or was it? No, he signalled it for just out of bounds. But anyway, Jacob Feebiger with the kick. He's right in the back pocket. He should be able to come out to the edge of the length of the goal square.
Big contest here.
Direction of Adams. There's White. White stands in the tackle. Gets out of the tackle. Gets a kick. Not very far. Right here in front of the commentary point. Kennelly too slow. Now to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe back to Kennelly. There's the kick right on the boundary line, but it will be marked in defence by
Josh Pearson.
Josh Pearson.
Who will now look to bring South Gawler forward again. Just rack up the inside 50s in this first quarter against the breeze, and it's going to be another uncontested mark.
Good kick.
By the way of Nathan Barshed. He goes short, attempting to find another one of the Gawler tools, and he does. And that is in the Anthony Simpson variety.
Simpson is left forward pocket. He's going to kick from nearly the 50 out, I would imagine.
And the breeze coming right into his face would be a tough one.
This will require a big kick, but if he can get it into the square, anything could happen. That should be his main target now. And Angaston have got Ned Grieve on the mark, but perhaps they should have someone else, and he should be in the square. He starts at right, it goes straight, punched away, off a boot.
I think that's come off the boot of a South Gawler player and gone in from the spoil.
Someone's claiming a touch, though, I think. Watch it on the replay.
It did. It definitely looks like it came off a South Gawler player. Whether or not there was a touch in there or not,
there's been a
they
touch.
have called it a touch.
Gee, that would have been a great goal.
I don't think he knew much about it, though, Jamo.
No. That's all right. They're the best ones.
Exactly right. Especially as a forward, you love those.
Tom Ryan to bring the ball into play for the Panthers. And a lot of options, but not a lot of options. He elects to come the western side at the back of the pack. A nice saving mark by Braden Lehman. He goes into the centre forward. Chip kick. Interception by Loki. Loki handball finds Hood as the siren sounds to end the first quarter here at South Gawler Oval.
We've got 4-3-27 for South Gawler to 2-2. Angaston 14 on our Burge Barossa scoreboard. Jammer, what did you make it the first quarter there?
Well, look, competitive by Angaston, but not enough. Souths would be very happy with the quarter. 4 goals against the breeze, and not getting it all their own way. But Angaston would be disappointed that they've only got the 2 majors, and now it's all before them. It's their defence and how they play this quarter defensively, whether they can stymie the flow. You'd think that Souths, the way they're moving the ball then, most times very accurately and with precision, will relish kicking with the breeze.
they will have a lot going with them going down that way. The way they were moving the ball up the ground, they're going to be able to utilise that wind well.
And
so it's a big quarter for Angaston in terms of defence, as you said.
And they got the luxury to play a couple of tools. They could play Simpson and James both up there, and they just need to put the ball forward. And if they've got the players who can be front and centre and pick up the crumbs and kick the goals. So the task all before Angaston, but the wind doesn't do it for you. You can use the wind, but the wind will not do it for you.
That's exactly right. And also, especially after the game that Angaston had last week, they'll be quite happy with that first quarter. They were very competitive against the defending premiers. I think there's a lot to take away from that, and they'll look to keep that momentum going into the second quarter and keep strong.
Okay, I made the centre clearances 5-2 in favour of South, and the free kick stats at the moment I've got a 5-1 in favour of Angaston.
Yeah, and we've got 16 inside 50s. I had counted for South goal in that first quarter. A lot of rebounds back in, 2 entries in at a time to the 8, I believe it was, for the Panthers. So
16-8?
16-8, so double the forward entries against the Breeze.
Angaston got the Breeze, and that's the tail.
2 multiple goal kicker, only one on the ground right now. Flynn Pisani has 2 goals. I got a single for Matt Newman and also one for Jake Hood for Angaston, as well as Stephen Summerton popped up with one. There was one South Gawler goal. The second one I didn't quite catch who kicked that one.
James,
was it?
Yep. Standing coach today for the Panthers is Craig Harvey, a medalist here in the BLG and in other associations. Probably a 400 game A-grade player at several clubs around the country, Victoria and South Australia. And of course the maestro at South Gawler these days is Gavin Chaplin, the ex-Central District footballer, and he's done a good job. This is his 3rd year in the role. Souths were a side that had plenty of talent coming through, but not realising it in their A grade, and he's finally done that last year in a colossal effort in a grand final we talked about for a long time. They didn't score until the second quarter and were 60 odd points down and got home to win with the last kick of the day.
There you go. Who was that against? As an out of towner.
And really they look like the 2 sides that will play off this year. Williston currently top, undefeated. They gave Angaston a fair hiding last week. South's also a big win over Kapunda. So they're the 2 form sides at the moment. The market would have them framed as the grand finalists for 2022.
Still plenty of season left to play though. So.
Oh yeah. And look, every team, as I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, every team and every club has really been savaged by injury, and then we've got COVID on top of that. It's just, and also COVID itself, the effects of COVID over those 2 seasons. I think everywhere, even AFL attendance figures show people have sort of drifted away from going out. Getting people to go back to the games and get out and about again is going to be a hard ask for a lot of people in a lot of areas.
Second quarter about to get underway here in South Gawler.
It'll be Edwards and James in the ruck, is it?
James, indeed. So the 2 big boys
Hudson
will...
gone forward? Brody Hudson? Or are they going to play a smaller forward line with the wind? Looks like they're playing a smaller forward line with the wind. James and Edwards. James with the tap. Coming through with South pushed through, but couldn't evade the tackles of Angaston, and the ball up by umpire Ehrman. Edwards check side, James body in front, got the tap, held his ground. Ball come out cleverly off the boot when it could have been holding the ball by the South player. It's on the cricket pitch area. Now it's released.
Thomas Ryan gets the ball forward.
Out looking for Summerton.
And that'll be touched, which will be then a South Gawler free kick.
Yep.
Bringing it in will be Bailey Zobel. He'll go down the line into this breezy pocket, breezy wing, clubroom side.
Will bounce off the chest of James.
Yeah, James, but they'll still go forward through Nathan Barsh. The ball keeps spilling down there, and Barsh gets it back. Good second effort by him.
No left leg. Went across the ground looking for Paddy White. but it doesn't
Instead,
matter.
picked up by Bailey Filkey.
Yep, he's going to run into an open goal almost.
And that
belts it through.
is not the start Angaston would have wanted.
Now, is it the Ray White scoreboard or the
It is the Barossa scoreboard.
Barossa
It's the
scoreboard?
Ray White time clock. Ray White Craigmore time clock.
Ray White Craigmore time clock. Lucky we got one. Lucky I brought one.
Very lucky.
Very lucky.
Very
Not
lucky. We'd be lost without it.
Not really. Just bought the time clock and they set up the video replay we've got here, which wouldn't be occurring if I was doing that. But a quick goal to South, and as we said, that's the danger for Angaston. Was South now with the breeze, playing pretty good possession football, very precise football, and that was fairly simple in the end.
And they'll go again here.
Yep.
They're looking quite aggressive, and that was good play by Flynn Bassani. He's having a good start to this game. They'll go forward again, and that's a good grab.
Released by Whitwer. And this is Simpson, I think, is it?
Can't quite catch his number there. Looks like he's going for the check side. I think it is Simpson, though. You're right.
No, Dean Cutting. He's too old to go the check side, but they're all doing it. No, he's drop punt. I mean, an angle like that, it should just be the drop punt.
We've got a good view of this one, and as long as the coach's heads don't get in the way, he steps in. And Dean Cutting
Hasn't kicked the goal yet, has he?
has not. That one hangs out comes draw to the right and doesn't come back. So it's just a minor score.
Breeze
South Gawler.
Breeze appeared to drop, but that certainly stayed right.
Let's see how Angaston go bringing it up against this breeze. South Gawler actually managed to do it quite well in the first quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how Angaston go about it. Coming down this bottom side towards the clubroom end. It's off the side of the boot a bit, and
very close to the boundary line. It must be an Angaston mark because the Angaston bench is pretty happy with it.
Possibly smothered though off the kick. And Dean Cutting picking it up again. He gets pinned on the ball though. Good tackle by Thomas Ryan. So Angaston now looking to come up. Most targets up this clubroom side wing, this western wing. So it's a low short kick. That one won't stay in the field of play. And it will be a South Gawler free kick. Brock Judd Smith, one of the brothers. I imagine they're brothers.
Yep.
Bringing the ball in.
And Tom Cameron on the field for the Panthers. He's wearing number 13. He was one of the late changes forced on the Panthers. As I drove from Gawler and Angaston to Gawler today, there were 2 changes while I was in the car. It's the nature of football at the moment in 2022.
It certainly is. It keeps everyone on their toes, especially the coaching staff, you'd imagine.
Throw in now, right forward pocket for the Lions. One by Edwards. He pushes it back towards the line. Kennelly's there. He's perhaps grabbed it without it, but no free kick forthcoming from the umpire, and a ball up on that right half forward flank for the Lions. They're heading towards the Adelaide end of South Gawler Oval. Breeze is favouring the that end of the ground as Souths go into attack along the pocket, along the line. Should have been out of bounds. Yes, out of bounds. Tackled out of bounds by Angaston, but looming closer and closer to the South Gawler goal.
You certainly notice, Jamo, that pocket, the wind's dragging it there. The ball seems to end up in that pocket that we can't see, of course, as well, more and more so. Yeah,
very hard to score from there. Tapped by Edwards over the back, flipped over the back, on his feet, on his hands and knees. Tom Ryan can't get the ball out. Players pile on top of him, and it'll be a ball up. What, about 30, 40 metres out from the South Gawler goal. They're in a prime position here to score. Umpire Herman dishes it up. Edwards with the tap backwards, kicked out of defence by Angaston to no one in particular. Bounces in the middle of a lot of players. No one gets it. Swinging in the tackle. Good handball.
Darcy Judd Smith will kick the ball.
Darcy Judd Smith. He drives it towards the square. Pack flies, but no one could bring it down. Now it's Cutting with a kick round the angle and puts through South Gawler's 6th goal.
Dean Cutting only getting the minor before, makes up for it in quick swift time.
Yeah, just read the ball off the pack front and centre, made some space and jammed it on the boot. Wind did the rest probably. Like I say, the wind doesn't do it for you. You've got to use it.
Yeah, and they certainly are using the win to start this second quarter. 4 inside 50s to nil after almost 6 minutes gone on your Ray White Clagmore time clock. Angaston need to try and figure out a way to get the ball forward here, Jamo.
Yeah, desperately need the goal now. Just can't allow that scoreboard to drift away from them as Paddy White comes off. I'm not sure he's had much match time this year at Centrals or wherever so perhaps that's why he's back here as Angaston get the centre clearance.
That was the clearance that they need. Big contest here at the half-forward line for Angaston. And they will get a free kick against them. Angaston bench here not too happy about that one. Nonetheless, umpire does not change his mind. Ball
That
gets
was Josh Pearson.
marked.
He's been getting a fair bit of the ball as well.
By Bradley Bain. Finds Matt Newman, who drives another forward 50 entry for South Gawler. Diving into that pocket again, though.
Yeah, ball being pushed towards the boundary line, but looks like South's recovered.
It's a good
Kicked
centering
it across
kick.
Half forward. That's swung out wide, and I think Bailey Filkey's nailed another one. Bailey Filkey, let's see if he turns around. No, it's in Pisani.
Pisani again, picking up his third goal in 2 quarters, having a bit of a first half here. Pisani, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, I think he's a product of the locals. It's a name I've seen before in the South Gawler lineup. But yeah, no, 3 goals, very handy. He's moved it. He's had his kicks around the ground, just not up forward. James in the ruck against Edwards. Edwards has so far no relief in the ruck. He's rucked all day by himself. In the centre with him, we've got Matt Neumann, Daniel Golding, and Bradley Bain. Pack around the ball, push towards Angaston's end, but then cleared up by
Bain got another touch, yeah.
Bain handball out wide. South with
He'll
numbers
get it back
around
out
the
here.
ball. Running past. They're moving the ball by hand. There it goes. Norman. He fires it in and standing in the way.
Jackson Murphy. Took the
Took
mark down. He brings the ball out wide. It's a lovely kick just in front of the Angaston player there. South Gawler look to rebound. And
that was Zach Heinz
Zach Heinzen, yep.
And he tackled the ball.
And he'll bring it forward. It's a lovely play. Piercing entry by Somerton.
Somerton puts the ball in front of Raisler, but he can't outrun his tagger. Handball straight up the centre now for South Gawler.
And Jackson Press will now look to rebound for South Gawler. A couple of inside 50s though for Angaston. They need to keep putting the pressure on right now.
Yep.
Big Alex Roberts went after that one, just he couldn't quite get there, and we'll probably have a ball up on the outer wing.
Ball bounced, no one able to get to it on the full.
So, just for everyone checking in, it's South Gawler 7-4 46 to Angaston 2 14 on our Barossa scoreboard.
As Hudson on the ground and resumed the ruck duties there, but also around the ball is Chris James. So a bit of height there and weight for South Gawler. Another ball up. Western wing. Edwards over the top. Flicked back. Kicked out by Steve Burton. Only as far as half back.
Thomas Ryan rebounds it, and he goes straight into the middle looking for young Zach Heisand again. Outbodied this time.
Yeah, eased out by Josh Pearson. I think a bit of experience there by Pearson on the young fella. But South's now cutting, wheeling around.
It was a lovely pickup.
He's allowed for the wind, you know, but the wind never took it, and it's behind. Knew exactly what he's going to do with it when he hit the ball.
It was a silky pickup from Big Ben too.
Yep.
So they'll re-enter Angaston. They'll go straight through the middle of the ground. I think they've had their most success when they enter out in aggressive fashion. Well, that ball's going to carry that wing, but no, again, Zach Hudson has read that perfectly, having a good impact off the bench here, Jamo.
Yeah, no, good young footballer. He's played reserve so far this season. He's had 2 bests on field, I think. So yeah, he's in good form. And call up today with the absentees. As we said before, out for Angaston, Nick Fallon, Will Fallon, Riley Argent, Jay Shannon. South with outs of Jacob Shukby, Hannah Smith and Henry Benison. Pack around the ball. Nothing happening. Big
looks like we'll get a ball up
Yeah,
here.
I think we should get a ball up. I don't think anyone will get out with it, except, as always, the umpire blows his whistle and the person with the ball keeps running. They think, oh, I've been robbed.
It's the umpire's curse. Similar to the commentator's curse there, I think, in some vein. Good read there by Flynn Pisani again. Only as far as Archie Hudden.
Yep.
And now Angaston look to slingshot the ball.
And Tony with the final kick from a series of handballs. But South's in the way through Flynn Pisani. He's caught. That's holding the ball. Another free kick to the Panthers. Taken by Haddon. His kick finds Fiebiger. On the dead side of the ground, we believe. Fiebiger's long kick. Good kick and falling mark. Great mark. Showed all the experience of his football career, Stephen Summerton.
Plays
on. And I think he's kicked the goal.
A very needed goal for Angaston. And that'll be Summerton's second for the day and the Panthers' third. And
how does that move to the Barossa Burge scoreboard?
So that brings Angaston to 3-goal 2-20. South Gawler 7-5-47.
And the Ray White Craigmore time clock?
We are 12 minutes gone, Jamo. So I would actually say that Angaston have steadied the ship quite nicely with the breeze going quite against them.
They need to follow up with another goal though. Summerton into the centre square, that's significant. See if he can get the clearance, the experienced Steve Summerton.
He's got a fair bit of space out there. No one interested in manning him either. Straight on the ball and gets the impact.
Yep.
And Angaston go forward.
Through Angus Adams, who took the ruck duties away, and that's Zach Heinze-Younger, marked at half forward. He goes into the teeth of the gale, bounces off the hands. Paddy White tries to push the ball out, comes out, rolls over, gets the ball forward, and a free kick to go the way of South Gawler for a throw.
It's the unfortunate aspect of moving Summerton into the midfield there, Jamo, is that then you don't have him up forward when the ball goes there.
South select to go across to half forward to Bailey Zobel. He'll bring it again, I would imagine. Plenty of space there for Darcy Judd-Smith. He chips the ball towards the commentary box.
Josh
That's
Whitwer.
yours. That's yours, Jess. You could have sport that. Josh Whitwer runs along the boundary line, sails it up to half back. Punched away by Fiebiger. Fiebiger recovers the best. Gets it on his boot. Wobbly ball, floating ball into the centre of the ground. There's Hood. He can't pick it up. Pushed out of it by...
Lovely movement right there by the South Gawler man. I don't have his number on my sheet, but nonetheless...
Jackson Press, sorry.
Press, and then Pisani picking the ball up and getting it forward again. Another touch for him. Down in that club room pocket again. Where visibility is at minimal.
From going out of bounds, I think. But no, it looks like there's going to be a throw in that right forward dead pocket, which we can't see very clearly from the broadcast point here. Throw in now. Adams doing the ruck work for Angaston against James. All on the ground. Players roll on it, and we'll have a ball up in that position as well.
You certainly did see, I didn't grab the name straight away there, but Paddy White's movement through that midfield did show his class at that point right there.
Even when he's tackled, he still manages to get the ball or push it forward. Handball off the ground, finds James. He has a kick goal, but it's the grubber kick. But now it's
snap by Nathan Barch, and that will go through for a major.
And Angaston have failed to kick 2 in a row. And I think that's what they would really have been hoping for.
Good spread of goal scorers across South Gawler as well. Besides Flynn Pisani having the 3, we've all got single goal scorers, so we're up to 6 different goal scorers already. South Gawler, everyone getting involved right now.
So the Barossa Burge scoreboard should read what? Is that 8-5?
8-5-53 South Gawler, 3-2-20 Angaston on the Burge Barossa scoreboard.
And the Ray White Craigmore.
We're ticking along at 15 minutes.
Righto, so we've got a good 10 minutes left in this quarter. The ruck was run by South. Clearance by Angaston after a good tackle by Angus Adams allowed the ball to be kicked off the ground.
Thomas Ryan wrapped up and it'll be a ball up.
Be a ball up. Just the cricket pitch side. Angaston's end. Whoop, Adams pushed out of the ruck. Dispossessed. Ball just floating free. Players jumping on it. Zach Heinz-Young got a handball out. A long kick by Angaston. Nearly marked, nearly pulled in by Raisley. He's able to recover. Chip kick for a running Somerton. Be a clever mark if he manages to take this. He's got Paddy White molesting him. If Paddy White on hands and knees gets the handball away, South's able to go across up the line. In front.
That's a great grab
to Zach Heinz-Young, I think.
He's having a big impact off the bench in this second quarter now.
Be, you know, someone gets out the side, you come in, you can play for your position. Kick held up in the breeze in front. James was always going to, Brodie Hudson was always going to mark it. He goes wide for Whitwer. Whitwer across half back for the Lions. Got Kennelly on the mark. He's got an option there in Bradley Bain. He goes back across half back. This had better be a good kick. It's spilled, but an opportunity now for Angaston through Somerton to make them pay for that. But it's rolled up and it'll be a ball up back in the centre of the ground.
Those middle kicks are certainly tough to hit, and they're going into that breeze. That was certainly brave by the South Gawler. Yeah, bullet-like.
Failed to take it.
Now we've got
Brock.
No, Jackson Dare just clears that one out, and down the bottom there's Cooper Polgissi. Doesn't come off for him though. Looks like we might have a ball up on that outer wing.
Or out of bounds. Be okay throwing the ball in from that side. It's Hudson in the ruck and Adams as Edwards is up forward for the Panthers. Recall for the throw in.
Little fella gives it a good toss this time. Great form by him. And now South Gawler will break the ball forward.
Well, out the back, Adams actually got the tap, but South Gawler had the players in position.
Pisani's read it best. Big contest though, and that's great.
Ball.
Although he's been done holding on the man, that's a bit unfortunate.
Oh, probably there.
Nilman looks to take the ball forward for South Gawler again. Finds that bottom pocket once more, and I believe that will be an Angaston free kick off. No touch.
Well, it's still a kick, isn't it? It's only if it's a scrimmage or there's a contest on the line, I think. Is that how you play it in the hills, or is
any kick or handball? So any clean possession that goes out is then a free kick.
But if it's touched,
then it should be a ball in.
Well, we seem to be playing it a little bit different to that. There needs to be sort of a melee or scrimmage on the sideline.
Great kick right there, and it looks like
cutting, isn't it?
Cutting again on the end of it. He's having a good second quarter.
Good lead, good kick. Great take. Tight angle, but breeze behind him. Just needs to kick it straight.
Certainly no check sides on this one, Jamo. Imagine he'll drop punt this one straight through. Cutting comes in.
Giving it the airs for the wind to take it.
They look pretty happy with it.
His fellow players like it as Lehman comes back on to centre half back.
And that was a major. Cutting gets his second.
Proving damaging, and the scoreboard just starting to slip away from the Panthers now.
Just notice this breeze is just quietening down a little bit as well, feels like. My paperwork stopped blowing around so much.
And James back in the centre against Edwards back in the centre as Adams goes up forward. Somerton's still there for the Panthers, along with Tom Ryan and Dylan Tuckwell in the square.
So Robertson James to go at it again.
Golding and Burton in the centre square for the Lions. They're pushing and shoving off the ball as players are stopping anyone running into it. South should get it out of the square though, should get the clearance.
They do, through Matt Norman, getting plenty of the footy in this second quarter, down to that deep pocket again.
I think he's found Whitwer.
Whitwer marks it, and he'll bring the ball in. Cute little kick, a bullet-like kick. Has landed in the arms of Cooper Puglisi.
Puglisi or Puglisi?
Puglisi.
Puglisi.
Nonetheless, he's having a shot from about 45 out. See how he goes with distance. Winds up. It's a sweet kick off the boot. And that'll make it. That's a lovely goal.
And that's 3 in a row for the Lions. They're starting to drift away on that scoreboard. Time for the Panthers to do something as Summerton calls a change with Kennelly.
And all of a sudden the leaders ballooned out to 10-5, 65 South Gawler, 3-goal, 2-20 for Angaston. Double the inside 50 counts as well in this second quarter for South Gawler. 10-5 currently.
10-5, yep. Not surprising. And Angaston only the one score with that 5. And Gawler with, 6 scores from their 10. So a lot of efficiency there from the Lions. Angaston should have cleared the ball from the centre, but good tackling and persistence by South Gawler prevented them from running away with the ball, and would have a ball up once again in the centre square. Umpire Sullivan throws it up. Coming through is
lovely read.
Haddon's gather out towards Summerton.
Summerton fell over.
Here comes White. White just steams through. Chip kick that's not 15 allows Brock Judd Smith to drive it forward. He finds a target.
It's cutting again. He's starting to get going now.
He wanted to put it on his left boot, but good checking by Angaston stopped him. He's kicked into the forward pocket where Fieberger will take the relieving mark for the Panthers.
Angaston looked to ricochet out on that top side there. They need to be utilising this more. Not much ball going up there. Coming in the middle. That's a lovely kick. Now they look to roll through.
Bit of awareness there by
absolutely
Jaden Antoni.
Here's Zach Hines again.
Nailed.
He'll give another entry for Angaston. That's a good grab by John Rosler, who will look to get it in deep and quick. 1-on-1, big contest. Read it well with Summerton.
Just
numbers there for South Gawler.
But I think it's Hudson with the clean up. His flying kick. Well marked by.
Hugging the boundary line here. Use it well. Norman now, he'll get the ball forward. And a good read grab there by the South Gawler player of Puglisi again from almost the exact same spot.
I think he's spent the first quarter on the bench.
He might be a little bit further out this time.
Certainly had an impact since he's come on.
This time hangs it out to the right, and that one won't come back, so it'll just be a minor score.
Started right, stayed right.
So almost 24 minutes gone on our Craigmore time clock, getting close to half time here. Leeds ballooned out to 46 points.
Trying to pick his Jack Miles took the kick in for the Panthers. Tom Ryan normally the kick in, he's off the field at the moment. Ball's hardly up against the boundary line, forced over, and a throw in left half forward for the Lions as they once again have a centre clearance. Tap by Edwards brings it to the ground, but it's all South Gawler pushing it along the line. Angaston can't keep it alive to repel the attack, and another throw in on that far left hand side. Western side of the ground, eastern side of the ground. In the ruck was Brody Hudson. He got the punch away towards the south goal. Kick across, missed all the south players.
Murphy picked it up, then lost it.
Didn't go with it. He gives it back to Fieberger. Fieberger
had it there as he cleared.
Grieve to Fieberger.
And South Gawler with another entry.
Big pack flies. No one protecting the man in front, and punched away down the ground would have a ball up. That's centre forward for the Lions. Edwards. Looks like Hudson there. He's got front spot.
Read it well with Pisani. Didn't quite take it with him though.
Pushed it down to his feet. Pisani was there.
Very dangerous spot right now. South Gawler, small forwards looking to get involved. 40 metres out directly in front of goal. Ball gets thrown up. Big contest again. There's a lot of numbers around that footy, and I think we'll have another ball up.
Yeah, well, there shouldn't be anyone the attacking side of centre for Angaston, and there isn't. But unluckily for them, one of the defenders on that area is Paddy White. What a luxury.
Yes, it certainly is. So
As Nathan Barch fighters towards the goal square, push towards the line.
and he gets a holding on.
Who's free kick?
That's a South Gawler free kick for cutting. You get in front, you'll get rewarded, and that's what happened there. Just the slightest of jumper tugs. But he will line up for his third. This time he will go around the body, Dean Cutting. Hit it well, and straight into the goal post.
Yep, pretty good shot that. Made it rock too. He put something into that. So Angaston coming out of the goal square again. Long kick out wide. Handball over the top to no one in particular. Puts South Gawler back in the van.
Josh Pearson will now deliver it back in for another forward attack for South Gawler.
Yeah, and luckily for Angaston, none of the tools were there. But a look away handball nearly released Souths for a run into the goal. As we see, Fabiga picks the ball up from the mayhem, but his kick, short kick, finds Jarcy Judd Smith. He was trying to find a target, just undercooked it, not overcooked, undercooked it.
Now Whitworth's got it.
Yep.
And that will be the siren for half time.
Well, I'd have the kick.
He's gone for the barrow with the breeze. Gets onto the all right.
Touch it, fellas. Don't let it bounce through. So what's the half-time score here, Jess?
We're looking at South Gawler 10-7-67, leading Angaston 3-2-20. That's a 47-point margin at half-time here in South Gawler. The reigning premiers putting on a bit of a show in the first half there.
Yeah, and centre clearances 6-2 in favour of South. Free kicks, I've got only 2-1. Free kicks, a bit of a premium that quarter.
Yeah, no, it was certainly a congested footy. The umpire wasn't able to pick any out of it. A lot of that footy was also down South Gawler's end. 15 inside 50s to only the 7 for Angus in that quarter. Somewhat what you'd expect with that breeze.
It seemed to be more than that, didn't it, for South Gawler, though? 15.
I potentially could have missed 1 or 2 there. You probably could. You could argue that maybe it was 19.
When they got it in, it spent a fair bit of time in there, and as Angaston tried to keep it out. But
I think you saw good efforts from the likes of Fabiga and Fabiga. Did I say that right? Fabiga and Jackson Murphy certainly keeping Angaston within somewhat striking distance. They'll have to have a massive third quarter with the breeze though.
Normal defender Tom Ryan is off the ground, I believe. I didn't see him come back on. A lot of hard work being also done by Jaden Antoni. But for Souths, well, they've got good players everywhere. Flimpasani has certainly been damaging. Dean Cutting's been damaging. The 2 big men have certainly made it difficult for Alex Roberts and Angus Adams. And you've got to say they possibly won the ruck, though, not clearly, but South's midfield players have been better at the clearances, and even when they've lost the ruck, they've generally got the kick out of it.
I think Jackson Dare and Josh Whitworth have seen a lot of the footy as well. Certainly plenty of it to go around right now for South Gawler. Yeah,
Whitworth covers a lot of ground and he's a hard man to mark and probably impossible to mark, but yep. So here we are, half-time at South Gawler Oval, and on the Burge Barossa scoreboard, we've got South Gawler, the home team, set 10-7-67. Angaston 3-2-20, only the 1 goal in that quarter, very disappointing. We'll take a break and be back for the second half.
Your coffee's alright. How long we got? Holding its battery all right, actually, just jumped true not. Whippy was missing. That's so right. Because the pros.
I've never seen him before at a club. He comes in with such and such as maybe he's got a bit of credentials, but he's gone straight to the
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that's good. Is that alright?
No, the other one was it? No, he's
live streaming? Yeah, right. Just for this week? Yeah. Where you been before that? Yeah. Mainly footy or? Oh, true. Oh shit. What's the most speedway would be tricky, wouldn't it? With the crouch and that. Oh, so that's easy. You got all the equipment, yeah. These ones a bit more of a one-man show. Yeah. How long does it take you to set up? I get it done with about yeah, God, that is. Yeah. Do they put up the white no, yeah. Pretty breezy out here as well. I live in the city. Where's that? Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, not neither. Cold out here.
Welcome back to the South Gawler Oval, where the Barossa Birds scoreboard shows South Gawler 10-7, 67 leading Angaston 3-2-20. Umpire Caelan Sullivan to restart proceedings.
Chris James and Alex Roberts go up at it again. And South Gawler straight in to attack. Going against the breeze this quarter. Need a big quarter for Angaston, and they'll look to capitalise on that. So rebounding kick. That ball will go out off possession. So South Gawler ball.
Very slick out of the centre.
Bailey Filkey looking to bring it back in. He'll go short and just over the top of the big man there.
Well, you find that hard to believe because he is a big man.
Brody Hudson, that is. Angaston will go forward. Filkey getting involved a few times there, and now Jackson Press will send the ball forward for Angaston. Hudson again getting involved. This time didn't go over his head. Couldn't stick the tackle though. And it looks like we might have a ball up here on this Western Wing clubroom side right near us.
Breeze just picked up then, so the breeze hasn't gone away yet, Jess.
And I was
You need
hoping
to work your magic.
it might have done, but it had not. Cutting just out of reach of him.
Really a clever one-handed mark though. As the fall of the ball tends to favour South Gawler at the moment, but Grieve at the back's able to jam it on his boot, kick it out to some space on the Western Wing.
Good
South
chase
Gawler
down.
Player was very nonchalant, chased down by Raisler, kick into the front of Carnelli. He's
Paddy
able
White
to evade
overrun
it
it.
around Paddy White and up to half forward where I think that was
Heitzung. Good contest there by the young man. Be a ball up about 55 from
Zach Heinz-Young. He could have taken that.
the Angaston.
Himself in glory.
Clearance by South Gawler. They'll go straight up the guts, but only as far as the big man, Alex Roberts. He'll look to bring the ball back in to the forward half of the ground for Angaston. A bit of a wobbly old kick.
Flat punt. A Hudson type flat punt. You don't see too many of them. As Hudson around the corner gets the handball, which releases South Gawler out of defence.
I think you'd find, Jamo, you'd see a few of those in C grade on a Friday night.
Oh, would you? Deliberate?
Every disposal is deliberate in the C grade.
Okay. As Brock Judd Smith brings the ball along the far side boundary. Good mark by Cutting in front of Grieve. He plays on, wheels onto that left boot. Long kick into the face of the breeze.
Dare's got the spot and he'll get the mark.
Running
Jackson.
with the fly of the ball, Jackson Dare. And he's kicking from a very acute angle, but only 5 minutes out. Round he goes, pops it through.
Sneaks it through, and that's another major against the breeze for South Gawler.
And that moves the Barossa Burge scoreboard onto 11-7. 73 to Angaston, 3-2-20.
So just at the start of the third quarter here, and we're out to a 53-point lead for South Gawler.
The Ray White, Craig Moore's time clock wouldn't have ticked over very much at all, would it?
No, we're just 3 minutes gone into this first quarter, so it's not the start Angaston needed.
Certainly not. Ball back.
Certainly noticed Dean Cutting get more and more involved with this game's gone on. He's looking very prolific up there in the forward line for South Gawler, adding another target for them.
Like I said, very experienced footballer. Not sure he was AFL listed at one stage, but certainly played Samful and has played good footy at several clubs around the state and won at least one male medal I'm aware of. Sullivan to restart the proceedings. It's Hudson versus Edwards.
Up she goes. Hudson wins the tap on that one. Good read there by the Angaston midfielder though, and that ball not going very far, very quick. Clearing handball, and now through. Good pace off the back by Thomas Ryan for Angaston, and he'll find a teammate out on the outer wing there. Brings it back inboard. Dangerous kick. Good kick though.
Could have been Tom Cameron, I think.
Ryan Kennelly goes that bottom side. Finds the pocket.
Summerton. Ooh, Summerton just unloaded unceremoniously. Ball and all spilled out of his hands. He had no control over that. As South chip across the full back line into the sun is Whitwer. Whitwer plays on immediately down the eastern flank. Coming out to take the ball is Thomas Clemens. Sorry.
Pisani's got the ball now, and he brings it inboard, and Norman now has it, and he streams forward. Another forward entry for South Gawler early in this third quarter, although read very nicely there by Murphy, was that?
That's Jackson Murphy, I think. Jackson Murphy, left half back for the Panthers. Not a lot on for him at the moment. Hood asking for it in the centre, he's unattended. But the long kick will be marked safely by South's. Centred down the corridor looking for Whitwer. Whitwer takes the ball He goes to play on, shapes it, and spears the ball in, looking for cutting. Is it Simpson coming out? Simpson. And Simpson takes the mark in front of Grieve.
Angaston don't really have an answer right now for the tall forwards that are floating down in that South Gawler forward line.
Tuckle off Angaston and Malachi Cohagen coming on. That's a name for you to have a go at later on. Jess?
I'll give it a whirl.
Not being a Barossan, you might struggle with that.
Yes, not a local Barossan boy, so...
Simpson moving in. Big left foot boot.
C-grade light
to
kick.
the right, yeah. Never connected cleanly, but still got a lot of distance with it.
He did, and against the breeze as well, so maybe there's something to say about that technique. Wrapped up about 5 metres from South Gawler's goal line.
Over the line now for a throw-in. A 2-metre advantage for Angaston.
Well, this probably
under the pump though.
More preferable for South Gawler. They get a good opportunity from a stoppage here. Ball gets
Adams,
hit to the...
Adams with the ruck, in the ruck for Angaston. But the low throw-in makes it very hard to go in any direction but forward, doesn't it?
It does. The young boys, they've got great form, as I said before, but a little bit of guts, though. They eat their wheat bix and they'll be all right.
No one with the tap in. Play being held up and rolled to the ground, and we'll have a ball up probably the same spot.
Similar to the second quarter, a lot of play in South Gawler's forward half here. Angaston need to try and find a way out, although that is well read by Pisani. He just couldn't get a boot to it.
And
it'll be cleared by Antoni.
Good understanding there between Simpson and Pisani. Simpson presumed, I think, that someone was going to be coming through.
Well, like you said before, it's quite predictable that the ball's going to land in front of the ruckman, so you just put your crummers there and they should be able to run onto it.
Adams and James.
Just
kick out by Murphy, I think, but only as far as South Gawler's defender. Could be Jackson Press.
It is Jackson Press.
He goes down the line. I would have thought down the corridor, but it doesn't matter.
Grab.
Cuttings come from behind and taken the mark, and will kick for goal some 45, just inside the 50-metre arc, I think. 3 goals already, is that right?
This will be going for goal number 3 here.
Yep, okay.
Yep.
Moves in.
He's got a lovely kick on him.
Holds up in the breeze, across the face, punched away for a minor score.
Just the 5 inside 50s to 1 after 8 minutes on the Ray White Craig Moore time clock. Angaston wanting that stat to be changing quickly, especially whilst they've still got the breeze in their advantage. That's a wobbly old kick.
That was a shocker.
Barch and now Steve Burton. They've got all the time, and that's sprayed to the left though there by Matt Newman.
Almost hit the South bloke on the back of the head.
He didn't see it coming, did he?
Only the minor score.
It's only some gettable opportunities early in this third quarter for South Gawler.
To take over the goal kicking duties now. He's gone short, looking for tackle. Punched away from tackle. That was a dangerous play. South's composure shown by Nathan Bart.
Chips it in and finds the South Gawler teammate.
Whitler,
I think you're right. He'll go back for a shot on goal, about 35 out, almost
he's done everything
directly
else today.
in front.
Might as well kick a goal.
Josh Whitler coming in for South Gawler to extend the lead to 61 points. It's a lovely kick off the boot. That's straight through the middle.
Nice and casual style.
That extends the margin out, as just said, 12-9, 81 to 3-2-20. Leads 61 points on the Burge Barossa scoreboard. Angaston seemingly don't have a response right now, Jamo.
Yeah, hard to think of an answer, though. Centre clearance is probably it.
Although it just gets more difficult as Paddy White moves into the midfield.
Into the midfield or into the square. I know he's 5 in there, isn't he? Oh, no, he's in there. So obviously not getting enough action across half back.
And And it looks like we've got Alex Roberts in there going up against Chris James again. Jousting once more.
Umpire Sullivan moves in. James comes around the side, tries to shield the ball from Edwards. Edwards can't get his hands to it due to the big body of James.
Once upon a time that would have been holding the ball, no more though.
No.
They'll go at it again.
Rid of, as Carnelli gets the clearance for Angaston.
Only as far as Jackson Press though. He's playing somewhat of a rebounding role at half back right now. Ball goes up to the outer wing, Paddy White. Brock Judd-Smith now looking for another forward entry for South Gawler. Angaston player slips over. Good pick up there by Josh Whitwer, who couldn't capitalise that time.
Another minor score.
Very silky looking player though, Whitwer is, as you noted before, Jamo.
Very good footballer. Central Districts was drafted, I think West Coast. Played in the Hills for a little while at Harndorf.
Harndorf, no surprises there. They seem to manage to get their hands on the talent every time.
And as a youngster was on the list at Angaston but never played a game because Central Districts took him before he got to play. Tuckwell now tries to drive it forward for Angaston. He's caught for holding the ball. Took just a little bit too long to...
Bit of an error there, although the umpire's bringing it back.
Said that
it's a fortunate break there for South Gawler.
Yeah, it didn't blow time on, I think. Oh, great grab.
That's Murphy again, I believe.
He's had a pretty good game.
He's great in the air, Murphy. Yeah. He's been called to play on, and Murphy will get it back.
He's broke the lines here.
It's a long piercing kick.
Good left foot boot, but running the wrong way was...
Darcy Judd-Smith, I believe, marked that one.
Was John Razor for Angaston. Judd-Smith was able to outmanoeuvre and get the ball through the centre line. Nearly a one-handed try by Ben Antoni. Couldn't bring it in. South player with the ball, brought to ground, no free kick. Another ball up. We should count the ball ups. Really, you wouldn't, given the score line, you wouldn't think there'd be this many stoppages.
Certainly a bit of a congested game right now. It's a good read by Paddy White. He explodes out the pack. It's a lovely kick. Does it have the distance? It does. That's a good goal. That shows the class of Paddy White right there.
That's how easy it is, eh? Full intent to do that as soon as the ball went in the air.
That was a set-up play from the training block there. Gavin Chaplin can get the compliments for that one, let's say. Another goal for South Gawler, another inside 50 as well. They have got 10-1 in this third quarter against the Breeze, seemingly flexing their muscle right now.
Edwards and Hudson again. Burgermeist into the square for the Panthers with Colhagen and Carnelli. Hudson with the tap, cleverly using his body, but White's read it. He runs out of centre square all the time in the world to turn around, get it back to Hudson. The big man jams on the boot. It's an up and under. It'll bounce to no man's land. No one really went for it, all waiting for each other. Picked up by Colhagen. And a free kick will go the way of South's Jackson Dare.
They're entering forward 50 again and cutting again, read it well, and that's another easy mark, almost uncontested. Manoeuvring his way to the front of the pack nicely there. And he'll go back for his attempt at his third again.
Yeah, keeping it to the dead pocket, which is helping Angaston. They're not scoring the goals they might be scoring if they're coming from this side or from dead in front.
See what Cunning can make of that dead pocket though. It's another good looking kick off the boot. That time he makes no mistakes.
Through by his teammates.
That's a goal for Dean Cutting and for South Gawler. And extends the lead to 14-10-94. South Gawler 3-2-20 Angaston on our Burge Barossa scoreboard. The Breeze has not given up here though. We certainly, Angaston still with a favourable advantage in that aspect, but haven't been able to get the ball forward yet. Only the one inside 50 in the first 15 minutes on the
Craig White time.
Correct, that is correct, Jamo.
And there's no real intensity out there. Angaston Just can't seem to do anything right, and South Gawler are doing everything right. Edwards and Hudson again. Edwards in front, probably got the tap. Angaston couldn't control it. Hood.
Great pick up by Hood.
Gets out and he puts the second inside 50 for the Panthers. Someone had to fly against a much taller bloke. The ball's hoisted high out in the direction of a couple of South Gawler players, but bounces into the arms of Bailey Filkey.
Dishes it wide, and now they can look to counter. Goes further back now. South Gawler messing around with it a little bit, but they have composure and short kick, and they're away now down this wing in front of us right now. Easy mark, uncontested mark for Steve Burton. He moves it quickly, and Nathan Barch will now look for a forward entry. Oh, he's given it back to Burton. It's a great play. And does he finish as well? He does. It's another goal for South Gawler as they break the ton halfway through the third quarter.
100 exactly on the Barossa Burge scoreboard. 15-10-100. Angaston 3-2-20. Yet to add a score in this third quarter.
You think Angaston need to shift it up a little bit here, Jamo? Obviously, the lean's ballooned out quite poorly right now. They've got to adjust something some way, would you not think?
And Souths are playing with so much confidence. Everything's going right for them. Changing the ruck with Adams coming out to confront Hudson. White's done enough, so he just goes back to half back. I think he sets his own position, Paddy White.
Had his contribution there. Half back is his rest up position. Ball gets thrown up by umpire Sullivan. Brought down. Having a little bit of a purple patch here is Steve Burton. That's another good possession, although Angaston come away with the football. Poised well for it was Paddy White. Used his body well. That's another possession for him. On the half back line, South Gawler can counter. A lot of numbers through the midfield here. They'll use their half backman to
prepared
slingshot.
To go square and then run the ball forward to Bradley Bain. Bain's kick is marked, or not marked. It's a ball up, and it's at half forward again. James comes running up from the forward pocket to take it, twisting and turning, throw, and free kick goes away of Angaston.
They'll use advantage here, Angaston. They've got a bit of a break. They need to capitalise it quickly, move the ball fast. Still waiting for some targets up the line, though, unfortunately.
Zach Heinz Younger.
Zach Heinz, yep.
Probably giving that ball too much air considering how tall Souths are.
Paddy White hit the pack hard. It ends up in the hands of Bradley Bain.
And once again, the kick out of defence finds a target. Brock Judd Smith marking. He goes inboard to Steve Burton. Burton plays on now around Adams. Drives it down the line. Can't be marked by South. Coming out to James. Comes to Grieve. Grieve throws it on the boot and only as far as Flynn Pisani. His chip kick not marked. Punched by Grieve and across the line. Punched by the South Gawler player and have a throw in right half forward for the Lions.
Ball brought in by the umpire. Big ruckman go at it. It's another clearance for South Gawler. It appears as Pisani reads it well again. Gets good position.
Yep.
Draws the ball now, and we've got Norman who's going to draw the ball back into the middle of the ground. It's a bit further out than he'd like. That could be in the back. It's not. It's play on. Good Shepherd as well. And now Angaston could be away here. Ball just out the reach
of Cameron.
Of Tom Cameron.
They hadn't gone out. We can't see it from here, but it didn't go out after all that.
Now the ball.
The kick. Now, is that a kick or is that a throw in?
I think that was a handball off hands, and we'll have a throw in. No?
No, it's a kick.
I thought Paddy White handled that. Is that so? Would that then be a throw in? Is it, Jamo? Is that correct?
I reckon if it's a disposal, either by hand or foot, and goes across the line, then it's a kick to the opposition.
And that's what the umpire has called there.
Jackson got it right. Jackson Murphy finds Tuckwell. Tuckwell goes square to find Tom Ryan a long way from the defensive line. He's got Murphy still short, ignores him. Now goes for the lead coming from Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe dishes off to Haddon, back to Ratcliffe. Indecisive football there by the Panthers. Could have been hold the ball nearly, but they managed to get the footy on the boot a little bit to the South Gawler defender. Now it's back into attack again.
It's a good mark by Chris James.
Yeah, big man in front. There's not much you can do when they get there.
Got an open forward line right now. It's a kick out in front and a good mark there by Newman.
By a big man too to find Matt Neumann.
Neumann now, who will put it to the top of the square. One-on-one contest. The Angaston players will arrive. It's a good spoil as well by Angus Adams, and it will go over the line for a throw in.
Phoebe has set himself there, but put off balance by the South forwards, and that's good football by the South forward.
Yeah, you get the contest. That's the absolute least that you've got to do as a forward attack in those contests, right? And now they've got a throw in the forward pocket.
Ball in, make a contest. Now there's a throw in.
And they'll call that one back.
It's only the little bloke. Need a bigger throw in than that. Should kick it in. Be a good opportunity for them. They could practice their drop punts.
Exactly right. And big booming kick out of the pack by the Angaston player. No one back there.
There's the wall from South Gawler.
Darcy Judd-Smith set up. They really got into their straps now for South Gawler. They're set up.
Adams, good grab. Good catch.
Murphy out here all by himself. He should take this mark and just couldn't hold it.
Now, that's a throw-in our comp. Now, that would be a throw-in in your comp or a kick?
No, I believe that would also be a throw-in.
Okay.
So, like you said before, disposal is when it'll be a free kick to the other team if it's a clear disposal.
Adams works his way to the front and gets the tap. Kennelly shoots a handball out to Phoebe, who couldn't control it. Murphy's in there. His handball out wide finds Ryan. Ryan kicks to the centre of the ground where Tuckle just can't bring it in. He's tackled by Steve Burton, brought to ground, and will have a ball up in the centre of the ground.
It's been a good 5 minutes or so for Angaston. They've sort of a lot of momentum, and South Gawler are doing what they liked, and they've balanced it out right now. They're fighting hard. It's good to see.
They need the reward though. Big pack around the ball. That ball's going nowhere. So umpire Herman moves into bounce again. It's Adams and Hudson. Hudson gets in front. Adams leans over and gets the tap.
Good
through
hit.
his Phoebe. He handballed when he probably should have put it on the boot, but he's followed up.
Get it back.
He gets his kick, sails the ball towards the score line.
Somerton's down there.
Tries to bring the ball down, tries to play for the free. Handball slipped out by South to Josh Pearson. Josh Pearson with composure along the boundary line.
You just want to see a little bit more of that, though. That long kick right there creates a lot of unpredictability in the forward line. Angaston haven't been doing that enough whilst I've got the breeze.
And then he butted up and got another kick. And he finds
Jackson Dare. They'll play on overlap play right now by South Gawler. They're slingshotting back from the back line, and they're already into their forward line.
Paddy White just loping down
Simpson
the middle of the ground. I wonder what's going to happen here.
Simpson a good second grab.
There's White running towards the goal square. Might be a goal by itself anyway. 1 point.
And a minor.
Minor score.
So
15-11, 101 on the Barossa Burge scoreboard.
To 3-goal 2-20 for Angaston.
Angaston yet to add to their score this third quarter.
And that will be a
That's a
South
kick.
Gawler kick. Daniel Golding to bring it in. Right to the hot spot. Paddy White there. Simpson and White couldn't make their mind up who wanted the footy, and now Angaston looked to counter out. Only as far as Puglisi goes to the pocket, and don't believe that's off hands. That'll be an Angaston ball.
Crept out of the back line as far as that Haddon. Ooh, dangerous kick into the goal square. I know it's his cousin, but his kick will go out of bounds, I think, and should be a free. Another throw. It's a throw in.
Jammer, we've got Graham Clapp in the comments here on the live stream saying he loves the way that Cutting, Whitwer, Dare, Paddy White go about their footy.
Well, he's correct.
He's certainly right about that, is he not?
He certainly is. Well, I really love it myself, being an Angaston person, but yeah.
Every other week of
Yeah.
always lovely to watch though, I bet. Just not today.
Battling hard. Phoebe in there, but can't break clear. Can't get the free kick. and it's another ball up. Hudson and Edwards. Hudson gets in front. White ran through. Ricochet from Tuckle's kick off of Ryan. Over the top. Should be handled. Or tackled. Kept it in though. Managed to keep it in.
And he was
lagging,
legged.
but that's advantage.
Golding entry inside
Golding,
50. Didn't make the most of it.
Funny kick that. I think he meant to kick it with the outside of his boot. No mark. Gee, that was nearly an important turnover for South Gawler. Kick finds Razor. Razor releases Heinz Younger. He's tackled from behind. He kicks it into the man in front of him. Picks it up again. Sweeps a handball forward towards the Angaston goals. It's all South Gawler back there in the agency of
contest by Barch.
Now they'll run it out again.
And Dare flips it out to the outer side.
Cooper Puglisi should be first the ball. He kicks the ball as he's tackled. Body's on the deck.
Simpson applying the pressure, and it was a high tackle on the Angaston player. They'll come out wide, and Murphy's got a bit of space. He's got the man to give to.
Use Tuckle.
Tuckle now.
Tuckle can run right into the 50. Probably should have. Looking for Summerton. Summerton opened the goals up. Tuckle had ran right into the 50. Possibly could have got within range. Bit of scrimmage there in our blind pocket. We've got a dead pocket and a blind pocket.
It's all you, Jam. I can't even see what's happening. Who's
South.
Down there?
I think that was in the end.
They go back to their full back line, looking to reboot. Coming across to the outer pocket. Number 9, Josh Witter. He's getting plenty of the football today. As they were slingshot forward. And that is the siren for three-quarter time. A scoreless quarter for Angaston. It the Spurs Barossa scoreboard reads 3-2-20 for Angaston, and then 15-11, 101 South Gawler. 15 inside 50s to 15-3 against the breeze, going for South Gawler there. Not necessarily the quarter Angaston wanted.
Yeah, centre clearance was 3-2 in favour of South, but a lot of them had a re-ball or another ball up in the same spot, and South generally won that second ball up. Free kicks, umpires have put the whistle away, only one each. What can Angaston do? Be plenty of soul searching out there amongst the troops. They've got to make the best of this last quarter.
I think exactly as you said there. They had a tough loss last week, and now in a similar situation this week. You've got to find something to build towards when you're going into the games coming up over the next couple of weeks.
Look, plenty of injuries. That's
Absolutely.
That's a reason, but not an excuse. You can only go with what you got. But South Gawler is certainly looking the goods. My first viewing of them this season. They're looking the goods as good as last year when they swept all before them.
Multiple goal kickers today. They're only the one for Angaston. No surprises. Stephen Summerton has the 2. And then Flynn Pisani popped up in the first half with the 3. And now Dean Cunning's caught right up to him with 3 of his own.
Now the test, of course, is for South Gawler. They've got the foot on the throat. Is to keep it on the throat.
Yeah, well, I mean, just from the viewing of that quarter right there, their confidence, they got a bit of a swag about them. I thought they were looking quite good, so it'd be interesting to see if they follow that into the last quarter. Yeah,
and that's one of the hardest things to do in footy when the game's won, is to keep the momentum up and to really bury the opposition. Sometimes you think, well, why should they do that? The game's won, they can take it easy, but of course that's to get you in the right frame of mind when the game's much closer.
And there's also the fact that they're going into next week. They want to have a 4-quarter effort as they look to mount another premiership attack, I suppose.
Yeah, forgot the program here. Let's see who they got next week. South's Angaston go to Kapunda. South's possibly. South's possibly. I'm trying to think who they mightn't have played. I'm sure they've played the 2 Gawler sides. I don't have the program. Or do I have the program?
A very detailed program, I will add as well, whilst we're browsing this one, Jamo.
They might have New York. Have you got the program?
I also have the program here, yes.
Who have they got? South's opponents next week. Have you got that?
I do not currently. No. Like I said, it's a very detailed program. There's a lot going on in here. Props to the Barossa Light League. I'll get it up for you though, Jamo.
And Angaston versus Kapunda. That's 2 do-or-die wins for both those sides. The 4's not out of the question mathematically for a lot of teams, but practically speaking, it's going to be pretty hard from here for the Panthers to figure in finals footy. They need a minimum of 8 to win in the home and away, mostly 9 or 10. It's hard to see them winning that many games for the remainder of the season.
South Gawler have Tanunda next week.
Okay, well, that's a big game. Yeah, big game. Tanunda, one of the trendsetter sides, but probably not going as well as they could be.
So you would then definitely think that full quarter effort would be on the minds of Gavin Chaplin going into this last quarter.
Yep, and he finishes the halfway mark with only 1 loss.
Is that umpire Sullivan in the middle there again?
That's umpire Sullivan.
Getting ready to start proceedings for the last quarter here in South Gawler. Angaston trail South Gawler by 81 points on the Barossa scoreboard.
Hudson and Edwards, and the wind appears to have dropped, though the flag's still got a bit of sway about it.
Right around when you said, I reckon you said at the start of the broadcast, Jammer, around 4 o'clock it can ease up. So good call there. Words of wisdom. The ball gets thrown up. More away for the last quarter.
Edwards with a tap, but not to the advantage of Angaston. Pack chases the ball out to the far wing. Chain of handballs releases Steve Burton. He sails the ball into the forward line. We're coming out is cutting again, I think.
It is cutting on the far side there, and he'll look to set up.
Too far out, but
Simpson makes a nice lead. He will try and reward that, and he's found him. That's the exact football that you want to be playing. Leave the hole open for the big man and watch him put the ball out in front of him and let him run onto it. That's exactly what Cutting did.
A clinical and precise exit from the centre square at the start of a quarter by South Gawler.
Absolutely. Steve Burton been very involved in this second half. Seen plenty of the footy and making a big difference.
I think the Simpson's gone back nearly as far as where Cutting was. Long run up.
See if it works for him. In comes Simpson. Hits it pretty nice. Looks like it goes across the face and it'll be a minor score. South Gawler 15-12, 102. Lead Angaston 3-2-20 on our Barossa scoreboard. Long way back. Only a minute gone on our Ray White time clock as well, of course, Jamo. But that's in the last quarter.
Ray White, Craig Moore time clock. How could you forget that?
You can't.
Angaston bring it in. Intercept by South Gawler thwarts their plans. Ball centred into the corridor where taking the easiest of marks is Daniel Golding. He sails the ball up, round the corner but facing the wrong way. I don't think he's ever going to bring the ball back far enough from that position to trouble the uprights. No,
Jackson Deb potentially should have gone for the overhead kick. Would have been more realistic in that situation.
Or even dished it off to someone facing towards the goal.
That would probably be the number one choice, the coaches would argue.
A new ball needed. That went over the club rooms. Went bouncing down the Sturt Highway.
So it's Angaston to bring it in that club room pocket. Ball's been down there plenty today.
Again.
Murphy. Stood up tall today in a defence that's been bombarded pretty consistently. He'll go long up the line. Paddy White underneath it. No one wants it though.
Push the player out. Bounce through the pack. Comes back to Jackson Press. Here's taking handball. Gets it back. He's able to chip it towards White. Souths can't mark. There's a lot of players around the ball. Quick in-ball handball. Quick short handball. Centred into the corridor where the mark will be taken by Darcy Judd-Smith. He's directly in front.
Got the breeze with him, and they
breeze behind him.
They
got
seem
the
to think
tall
he's got
man
the distance.
In the square, why wouldn't you have a go?
Gets a lot on that, and that's looking pretty good. That is straight through the middle.
It's It's a big goal. Story of the day.
Darcy Judd-Smith gets a goal. They get around him. Wonder if that's the first goal for the
Maybe
man.
Normally a defender. Maybe he doesn't kick too many. He might have won the defender's sweepstake. You'll put $10 in, and if one kicks a goal, then you win $60.
The defender wins $60.
Yeah, it's defender's sweepstake.
Oh, yeah, right. Carton will be on him after the game then, I suppose. So that, interesting enough as well, brings us to 10 individual goal scorers for South Gawler.
Okay, look, and that's the story of a good side, isn't it? As Dylan Tuckwell gets the ball out of the centre for the Panthers, looking for Summerton once again. He tries to take a one-hander. Raisler runs in to help. The ball's in the scrimmage on the boundary line. Now be South to clear. Chipped out through Puglisi, I think it was. Ball taken by Steve Burton. His kick, the teammate's kick up the line.
Ends up being an uncontested
Too
mark for
Too
Barch.
easy for Nathan Barch there. Inboard to Hudson. Hudson to a running Burton. Burton streams through the cricket pitch. Handball over the top
Golding.
in the run of Golding. Golding forced a handball, not a good handball, puts his teammate under pressure. Angaston should be able to hold up the attack here, and they do. And umpire Herman will bounce the ball left half forward for the Lions.
Umpire Sullivan to throw it up on that outer wing. Big ruckman go at it, and it'll be another South Gawler. Oh no, Angaston get there. Oh, there's a ball's bouncing everywhere right now. No one can seem to pick up the football. Coming away with it though was Febiger, yep.
Over the back, marked by South, sent straight back into attack. Big pack flies, no one can bring it down.
Goes the torpedo punt back out to that same wing.
Yep. Handball by Edwards.
Good body though by number 23, Jackson Press for South Gawler, and he comes inside. Now South Gawler can counter.
Down the corridor.
They've got overlapping players everywhere right now. They'll go down this bottom side again. Looks like that might be Whitwer down there. Now he'll try and find a target inside forward 50, probably about 55 out. I can't quite see where he is. Maybe he's having a shot on goal.
Well, yes, it's a feasible shot.
Tough with the wind.
Yeah, left hand goal post, and let the wind perhaps bring it into the face.
As you said before though, Jamo, quite a talented player. It's not beyond him.
Let's take his time. Just 30 seconds, isn't it?
Good kick off the boot. Holds
Tried the
up,
torp, I think.
and
Might
that'll
have
go
cleared
through.
the pack.
Another major for Whitwer. He brings himself to 2 goals on the day. And same story as every other quarter right now, Jamo. It's 8 inside 50s to 1. 6 minutes gone on our Ray White, Craig Moore time clock.
It's just too many to give up. I mean, that sort of percentage, you're going to just keep scoring, aren't you?
It's inevitable at some point, is it not?
Adams in the ruck now against James. Paddy White gone into the square. Good tap by James as Angus tried to work him under the ball, but he kept his space, but only as far as Ratcliffe, or Burgermeister, sorry, and he was wrapped up. Two-handed tap by Adams. Ball spills clear, but it's going to be a
Paddy
clearance once again
White,
by
good movement from the pack.
Yep, from South with a chain of handballs.
Jackson
More
Dare.
handballs, more running. White
Nice.
over the top, coming through. Shot a goal, should have been a goal by Bailey Filkey.
They've certainly got their tails up now, Jamo, don't they? They're doing as they please out of the midfield. Ball brought in by the Angaston. And Tuckwell has it on the defensive half. He'll bring the ball out on this clubroom side. Angus Adams takes the mark.
Finds Adams.
Looking to move it on quickly. Comes back inboard to Murphy. Murphy's having had a good game.
Yeah, Murphy's probably
Under
been
duress.
Angus' best, I think.
Looking, options aren't aplenty. He will come across again. Just didn't quite get the kick right now. They're under pressure.
Haddon keeps it going across half forward and finds Ben Antoni.
It's been this next kick that's been an issue for Angaston. Finds Thomas Ryan on that outer wing.
Now the next quick.
Not a whole lot of movement up
plenty
ahead.
of time.
Long ball up the line, he goes for it. Nice kick in the end and ends up
Finds
finding
Rosler.
Rosler. Good move. And then he just mishits the kick. And now Jackson Dare has it, and they'll look to slingshot quickly here. Good kick out in front of Cutting. Ignores the hand pass, gets a long kick now into the forward 50. Another entry for South Gawler. Numbers there for Angaston though. And they should come away with the football with Thomas Ryan, and they do.
Marked by Haddon, half back. He squares the ball down the corridor to Febiger. Febiger's kicked just to space. I don't think he's actually looking for anyone because there's no one there. Handball over to Pearson. Pearson, he's creeping forward. He must be looking for a goal as well. A one-handed try by the South Gawler forward but can't be reeled in. Should be cleared out of defence now by the Panthers. Kick along the boundary line. It's in our dead pocket. A lot of players running in. Umpire signals what? A kick? A free kick?
Not if you're asking me, not asking the right person.
Rhetorical, purely rhetorical. Got no idea what happened in there.
Pisani now has the ball and he'll look to bring it in to the forward 50 for South Gawler again. Didn't quite get everything on that. They'll go deep into the pocket, although Cutting gets on the end. Or was that Simpson got on the end of it? South Gawler seemingly thought that was it, handling to a teammate when he wasn't. Good mark right there though by Zach Heinzake. Good.
He's looking for Sam Walker. Sam Walker can't reel it in.
Oh,
Brad James comes through, the big bloke, and he unloads Sam Walker while he's got the ball, and Sam Walker's still down.
That was a big contest from the big boy there.
Marked by Febiger for Angaston. And deep in that dead pocket. He kicks the ball out, and there's plenty of tools there for South.
Just Zobel hanging off the back.
Zobel drives it in towards the square. Arms went up, but no hands. As in 2 hands for marking. Now it's run to Golding. Golding with a check side, and check sides are too much. And another behind to the Lions. Well, at least the points are catching up with their goals.
It's you're right.
Pretty straight kicking by them for a long time in this game.
It's potentially flattering the scoreboard a little bit, but maybe you could say it's the pressure of Angaston right now.
Well,
there's no easy looks.
Yeah, they aren't making it easy, but still, it's just a sheer weight of momentum and the pressure that they're bringing into the forward line. This will be a boundary kick to be taken by Canelli.
Deep in the back pocket of Angaston's
now he's
defence.
the wingman. Now he's deep in the back pocket taking one of these kicks.
Just goes up the line. It's the only real option right now, and it's another mark, and they're away again. South Gawler, another entry, a quick repeated entry, and that's another good mark though by the Angaston defender down there. Grieve, yep.
Now he's come to this side again. Perhaps he could have swung it out the other side. Just waited that little bit more.
Ball more than like now he does look to do that, Jamo. So see if Angaston can get it out that top side.
Well, South's got the players out there already though. They've read that possibility. A handball over the top releases Febiger. Febiger down the line. I think it went through the hands of
Sits
Razor
nicely
there.
for Hood.
Hood's there. He weaves around. Angaston inside 50. It should be marked. No, it isn't marked by Bailey Zobel. But South will still clear the ball out.
Comes away with it fine, goes straight at the middle. That isn't going to find a target at all. Straight to the Angaston player. He'll come out wide now to Murphy. Murphy gets it cut off though, unfortunately. And Pearson will now drive the ball forward. Cutting again. He finds a player in the middle of the ground about 50 metres out. That was a nice vision kick. And Pisani could line up for his 4th.
Pisani's been the goal kicker of the day. Taking his time.
Been incredibly accurate as well. So with the breeze, he can kick the distance here.
Best place on the park if you want to have a shot for goals, probably where he is right now.
We see if we were right about that, Jamo. And he comes, Pisani.
Breeze over his left shoulder. Not quite in the centre. South players like it. I think he's trouble.
Flynn Pisani kicks his fourth.
The Burge Barossa scoreboard with a goal.
18 goals, 14, 122 to 3 goal, 220. That is South Gawler's way.
Next goal now is for Angaston to prevent the 100-point margin.
That does start to become the fight now, does it not? 13 minutes gone as well on our Ray White, Craig Moore time clock. Fourth quarter well and truly underway now. And
Edwards and Hudson stand in the tackle.
There goes Burton again. He's getting plenty of the footy in this second half.
Release Burton up into attack and a mark. Cutting?
Believe that is Cutting. So now Cutting
Once
can go
again,
back and kick his
simple
fourth.
And precise.
Cutting and Pisani seeming to have a bit of a goal kicking war at this point.
Yep.
Trying to go 1 for 1.
Taking his time. I mean, the experience of the man, he should have no problem slotting it.
He certainly does not. That's 4 now for Dean Cutting, I should say, and extends South Gawler's lead to 108 points on the Burge Barossa scoreboard. We've got Jamo Alice Furler saying she's watching in from Edithburgh.
Edithburgh?
Edithburgh.
Okay.
If you know where that is.
That's
Your
on
geography
your
might be
peninsula.
better than me.
Sort of opposite Adelaide.
On the
see
other
the-
side of that lake.
You can see the lights of Edithburgh from Adelaide.
Well, there you go.
And sometimes you see Edithburgh from Kangaroo Island. Emu Bay or North Cape. Thank you for listening in. Hopefully you're enjoying the game. And if you're a South supporter, no doubt you would be really enjoying the game.
And that is Graham Clapp saying keep it up, Lions going well. So no wonder he's sticking around to watch this one. They're playing incredibly well. Ball goes up again.
Evans with a tap. Angaston can't make full use of it. Once again, the handball to a player running through off half back, straight to the forward line. This script's being repeated ad nauseum, and out to Cutting, who has to swing around. He's brought to ground. Chain of handballs, or a handball. Kick into the square now. Good centering kick. Angaston defence under real pressure. Hurried kick out of defence by, looks like Grieve, but only as far as Whitwer. Whitwer sends the ball sailing back in the same direction.
That's another one.
Sends it back in the same direction. He sails it through the goals, and the South Gawler Lions bring up their 20th goal, 2014, which should be 134.
To 3 goal, 220.
3 goal, 220, and Angaston have not scored in the second half.
They have not, and that also now brings Whitworth to his 3rd goal of the game. So some repeated scorers for South Gawler all getting in on the action.
I think best player, he's probably resting up there. He's did a ton of work across and around the ground in the early part of the game.
He was very prolific at the start of this game.
Edwards and Hudson, really a negated tap, but still Souths with the clearance.
Good pick up there by Darcy Judd-Smith. Oh no, sorry, my correction. Josh Whitwer again.
Got time to handball off to the big fella. The big fella swings it.
Jackson
swings it
Press.
wide to Jackson Press, and he's played across half back. It hasn't really seen much of the ball today, as Tom Cameron soccers the ball in front of him, trying to get a favourable bounce so he can pick it up.
Being chased
Players
by Bradley
crash in,
Bain.
and there'll be a ball up right half forward for the Panthers. Can they score in this second half? Can they put a goal on the board or even a point?
Certainly got an
Let's
open
hope so.
forward. They've got an open forward 50, Jamo. So if they can get a quick clearance here, there's every chance. Although they do not get the clearance in this case, but it's only as far as the
Ben Antoni.
Angaston player Ben Antoni, and he can drive the ball inside 450 for their second entry of the quarter.
White's there.
Paddy White right underneath
Touched
it
away
though.
from him by Tuckwell. Handball out and over to Josh Whitwer, who's covered some ground again. His kick has found Golding in the centre. Golding just chips it in the run of the South Gawler teammate. Phoebe is there to try and thwart him, but it's 3 against 1.
Yeah, and Filkey runs away with it.
Filkey just sends it into the square again, And juggling mark by
Cutting, snap,
Cutting.
and goal.
Didn't wait for the umpire's decision, turned around and snapped another goal. 21 goals to South Gawler now, 21-14 on the Barossa Burge scoreboard to Angaston 3-2-20.
Seems as if that Dean Cutting took it personally when Pisani kicked his 4th goal there, Jamo, and he snapped back with 2 of his own.
Anything in that?
You don't think? Is the forwards
I
they get?
don't
They're
think
competitive
so.
bunch, forwards.
Yeah, they are, but you know, as you indicated before, the spread of scorers is unbelievable.
Yep, still 12 individual goal kickers.
12 individual goal kickers. And I mean, that's a sign of their strength. They've got the options. They've got the options up forward. They've got the options in defence, and they've got the options on the ball and in the middle.
Certainly noticing their half-backs having a big influence, running off this half-back line to the back of the pack here in these centre clearances.
I mean, watch it again, and we'll see when the ball goes up, one of them will run through.
Ball gets thrown up. Contest by the ruckman. And another clearance now, and there you go, right there on cue. Josh Whitwer drags the ball inside 50.
Kick too hot for the South Gawler forward, though.
Ball keeps spilling forward, though, in the hands of Flynn Pisani. Perhaps trying to equalise the goal-kicking tally there with Dean Cutting, but nonetheless wrapped up, and it'll be a ball up about 50 from the South Gawler goal. 19 minutes gone in the last quarter on our Ray White Craigmore time clock.
Probably be a reasonably long quarter, seeing the number of goals scored, albeit only by one team.
Centering kick from that dead pocket again, and it's a good grab right there by Jack Miles.
Miles for Angaston, the captain. This is a bad day out for him.
He'll look to bring it out on the outer side, though. Contest forms on the outer wing. It's a good contest by Rosler. No prevail, though. It'll come right back, as it has many times in this last quarter. Picked up in the pocket there by Daniel Golding. He'll centre it. Just out of the reach of Cutting. Oh, good crumb there by Puglisi, but sprays it off to the right.
High, wide and handsome. Shadows creeping over the ground. This game grinds to a halt. But it's not a halt. It's a bit of an express train halt.
It is, isn't it?
Plenty of brakes to stop the express train South Gawler.
Hearing all the mechanisms of it slowing down, but not yet. They're still going, South Gawler.
But Chaplin, from the South Gawler coach, he'd be very happy the way his sides played the game out. They had every reason just to relax because they've got the game won, but they've kept the pressure up and are really pumping Angaston. Good catch out of the pack by Adams, I think.
Well, in this second half alone, Jamo, if my stats read correctly, we've only had 5 inside 50s for Angaston. So it's been an extremely dominant second half.
Just been inside 50 as well.
And they'll bring the ball forward again here, South Gawler. The big man getting involved, and now off the back of the pack is the likes of Bailey Zobel. Drives the ball in forward 50, but repelled by Angaston. That kick isn't going anywhere quickly, though.
I think that's going to go out of bounds, that one.
Fegber, he's fought hard though, I believe.
Febiger, yep.
He's been quite good back there in defence.
He's taken it on, but yeah, when he's come out, there's been not much to kick to because obviously Angaston been flooding the numbers back. Kick into the centre square, into the corridor in front of the goals. Angus Adams kicks the ball out, not a good kick, only as far as Filkey, I think that is. He just 1 foot, step, bang, and there's another South Gawler goal. Can't do anything wrong. He could have even ran in, I think. Was it Filkey?
Might have been Puglisi, actually.
I think it might have been Puglisi.
That's his second major for the day. So 4 multiple goal scorers now for South Gawler. They're all popping up everywhere on the park at this point. Not surprisingly, it's 22-15, 147. South Gawler leading Angaston 3-2-20.
Yep, the veritable cricket score now.
It is getting that way. That's on the Burge Barossa scoreboard as always. 25 minutes and time on in the Barossa League, is it, Jamo?
20.
It is 20, is it?
20
That's
plus
no
time
worries.
on, but there's more time on signalled than the old 25. Well,
Just grab
took
out
it
of
out. Yeah, James just took it out with strength. High kick though, not a good one for his forwards, but he's got the numbers around the ball. It's socket towards the boundary line. Murphy was leading in the race to the ball. It's entered the dead zone. Umpire signals a throw-in, I think, did he? Or a ball up? I suspect the ball up. Comes out.
The ball gets kicked into the forward 50 there by the South Gawler player of Nation Barch. Another Crummers at the ground. Their Crummers are everywhere right now. That'll spill out, though,
Crummer
for a
Simpson,
minor
he's
score.
a fairly tall bloke for a crummer.
That is one thing about those South Gawler forwards, though. They're quite mobile for big men.
Yep.
They move quite quickly. Can get down and move with the smaller fellas.
So Fabiga takes the kick in. Alexa go the far side. Players up. Front and square South Gawler though. Tackling forces him to kick into the centre. Oh, no free kick there. Player crunched while he's waiting under the ball.
That was Pisani.
Comes out clear now.
There's the youngster, Zach Heiskin. Gets the ball cleared. And as far as the South Gawler big men, it's all South Gawler numbers back here. And they'll repel it straight back again.
Pretty high kick. Doesn't do his forwards much service. A wide sweeping handball finds Whitwer. Whitwer sails the ball back into that goal square. Nearly a one-hander, but run across the line by Miles, who plays on immediately, or perhaps he didn't run across the line. He kicks it out wide, where it's found by Tom Cameron. He spins one way, then the other. He's forced a kick. It's a high kick. Edwards was there, but couldn't bring it in for the Panthers. High tackle, but I think it's Golding. He fires the ball back in. Bang, hits his target.
Slow the eyes then. Finally, it's found his target in. Emerging from the pack there is Daniel Golding.
Well, that was Golding that took the mark.
Took the mark. Golding seems to think that he can make the distance. He's a little bit further out, and the wind has died down, but he's still got the hill with his advantage, so he seems to be pretty confident that he can go
why
back.
Wouldn't you have a shot? You're 22-16, and your opponents are only 3-2-20.
See if he can make that 23-16, and he comes.
Big kick.
Gets a lot of it.
Yeah, gives it the air.
And that is.
And the distance.
So Daniel Goldie now adds another goal scorer to South Gawler. That brings him to 13 individual goal scorers.
Well, that's not unlucky, is it?
No, there's no luck involved in that at all.
Yeah, what can Angaston do? Got to keep going. Just been outclassed today. Too many winners for Souths across, well, not every line because we don't know about the full back line, but certainly from half back down. And it's the way they move the ball, run, first give. They're expecting someone to be there to offload.
And they always are, which makes it very easy to play with. That's a clever tap in front of Paddy White. Just another example. He gets caught that time. That might be a first of the day.
Yeah, look, the umpires love giving free kicks against Paddy White for holding the ball because it doesn't happen very often.
Gets them excited.
Burgermeister goes sideways.
That's Hyatt swing out there. He's had a good game. That's one thing I think you got the late inclusions, the youngsters of Tom Cameron and Zach Heinsohn. I think as Angaston supporter or president yourself, Jamo, you'd be pretty happy with their impact today.
Well, I own Zach Heinz Younger in the auction, but there once again a turnover from Angaston, and here's a training drill by South, except Nathan Barch hit the deck. And now it'll be Miles to clear up for Angaston. His short kick out should find Murphy.
Couldn't pick the ball up.
Couldn't pick the ball up at his bootlaces. He's running the wrong way. He's able to offhand it to Grieve. Grieve gets the kick
on the siren.
Does the umpire deem the free kick before the siren or after the siren?
I think he put his hands up to indicate that. Oh no, he's given it. It's a bit unlucky.
I think it was before the siren.
And Golding's going to get a chance to get 2 in 5 minutes right at the end of the game.
And
add insult to
now
injury.
that quarter went a bit quick for the goals scored. What's the time?
It's 28 gone
Okay.
on the
Yeah,
right
right.
Craig Moore time clock as Golden comes in. And he kicks truly. So it'll be one more for Daniel Golding. He'll get 2. It's another multiple goal scorer. Another goal for Angaston. So final score here at South Gawler, 24-16, 160 to 3-2-20. South Gawler getting up by 140 points over Angaston on our Barossa scoreboard. A very prolific performance by South Gawler, Jamo.
Yep, and Angaston failing to score in the second half. A really disappointing day for them. Look, undermanned and injuries, and as they're dropping off the perch, so to speak, from Thursday night, but you can only go with what you got. It is A-grade footy, but South of Gawler, a consummate show. You can't believe or you hope that there's not too many players who come back in this side, because this is a very good side if there is. Even better if there's other players out there.
You wouldn't know where they'd drop out from. Like we said just before, 13 individual goal scorers. You got 4 from Pisani as well, and 3 from Whitwer, 5 from Cutting. There was Jackson Press I thought was quite impressive. Paddy White, obviously. We talked about it before. Josh Whitwer was incredibly impressive.
Josh Whitwer would get my votes for the male medal today. Very good game. The big men did everything they needed to do, and they, as I said before, they knew that someone would be coming through. They knew they could dish off the handball, even if they weren't in trouble with either. If they were in trouble, the handball was there to be dished off. If they weren't in trouble, the handball was there to be make the advantage even greater. Angaston's better players, well, I think Jackson Murphy probably their best. Zach Science Younger tried hard in defence. Phoebiger and Ned Grieve always their hands full against bigger players. Dylan Tuckwell got a bit of the ball, but after that, a lot of the Angaston players just could not get into the game.
And I think that is more shows just how dominant around the park South Gawler were. Nothing necessarily against the effort of the Angaston players. It's just like you said, when you've got a team working in such unison and so much confidence, it's really hard to get yourself in the right spots and involved consistently.
Yep, and look, I haven't seen Williston. They had a big win over Angaston last week, but gee, this is a really good South Gawler side, and it's hard to see that they won't be stopped from going back to back, unless the curse of injury hits them. And look, they probably have had a little bit better than some clubs in the first half of the season, but that's what it's all about. The Premiers are the side that hold together, get their best team on the track more often than other clubs. That about wraps it up for us today, Jess. Nice working with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Jamo. It was a pleasure.
Unfortunately, I have to hand you back to the grubby Mike Teakle next week, but that's part of life, mate.
That you can't have it every week, can you?
That's right.
You don't win them all
every week. Well called, mate, for a first timer or a new bloke to the
second timer.
Second timer, and I hope you continue with it and get a great lot of satisfaction from your media and from particularly this sort of stuff, community stuff.
Beautiful, Jamo. Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, and it's good night from him and good night from me.